This is the time that my roommate hold us. So this is around 2016 in the beginning of June. I just graduated from college, I'm on that high. And I know I'm going to go home with my family and be down with my family for a little bit. So I pay rent for June and I go home, thinking everything's gonna be cool and everything like that. Boy, was I wrong. So my roommate calls me and he goes, well, two roommates called me. One of them called me and I didn't pick up. And another one called me and he asked me, did I pay rent? I go, yeah, I paid rent. Of course I paid rent. Now, when I pay for anything, I keep receipts, I keep money orders, I keep anything, to make sure I paid and confirm that I paid. And he says, well, the landlord is saying we're short on this month's rent. I'm like, what? How are we short? Who didn't pay? And he was like, I don't know. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to just bring my ass back to Northridge and figure out who didn't pay for rent because we not having this situation, We got a month left. We are not about to get evicted with a month left. I got some stuff lined up for me. I planned on staying in LA at the time. I was like, you can't do this to me. I'm going to Northridge, right? I get to Northridge, my brother takes me to Northridge, and this guy done moved all his stuff out. The dude who called me, who should remain nameless, moved all his stuff out. All his stuff. He even took some of my shit, which, makes me mad to this day. He took some of my dishes. He took the little thing that holds all the dishes. He took pans. He took some of my shit. And I'm sitting there oh, this dude didn't pay rent. And all of us came to that realization because we all got there on the same day around the same time. And now we're like, oh, he didn't pay rent and he moved his stuff out, right? So now we're about to be out our deposit. We're about to be out our month's rent. And we're about to get an eviction on our record. That's the thing we're thinking about. And I'm like, fuck, I'm thinking about what am I gonna do and all this stuff. And luckily we got a lucky manager. She was all like, you guys don't have to move. Well, you guys have to move, but you're not gonna get your deposit back. You're not gonna get your rent money back. But what we will do is we won't put the eviction on your record if you're out by a certain day. So now I'm like, fuck, this dude doesn't really hold us. Because if you can't afford rent, tell me. Tell me before I pay rent. So then we can figure out somebody who can take your spot for these next couple months. Or we can just be out and I'll just take the eviction on my record, but at least I won't lose my fucking rent money on top of my deposit. I will just lose my deposit. He didn't do none of that. He called and pretended like he paid for rent, did not pay for shit, moved out, all this stuff. And I'm sitting there now damn. Luckily they didn't put the eviction on our record, but I had to move out and we had a couple days to get all our shit. So I left a futon, I left a whole bunch of furniture, I left some dishes. I couldn't take everything in my brother's car. He had an Altima. So I couldn't take everything. So I'm sitting there man. So somebody done came up, whoever lived by Northridge, who was passing by or whatever, they done came up on a futon, some a refrigerator, all type of shit. I couldn't take it. We couldn't take it. We had to be gone by a certain day. But yeah, he hold us on that, He tried to act like he had the money. He didn't have the money. So now we got fucked. We still had to pay our cable because we only had a couple months left on. We had to pay shit that our Wi-Fi, all that type of stuff. And we weren't even living at the place, but we still had to pay for the shit. Shit is stupid, but whatever. But he hold us, Side note too. His girlfriend drank my fucking Minute Maid, put her lips on my drink when I was living there, And she was all like, "Oh, I didn't know it was your drink." And I sat there and was all like, "It ain't yours. You don't live here. The fuck? Who does that? Who grabs somebody's drink and just drink it if you don't live there? That's no home training whatsoever." But this is the time my roommate Hoed us, you know. And then you know what happened like a couple years later? He tried to add me on Snapchat. You know, I should have added him because I want to see these. I want to see him. Like I want these hands to see him, but I didn't. And it is what it is. But it's a lesson learned. And yeah, we got Hoed.